when you turn about 40 or 50, things can start to fall apart. And that was my experience. I thought longevity needs to be made easy. So I've pulled together 13 of the sort of most potent longevity ingredients and put them into one easy daily to drink powder. The Blue Sky at the moment is very much about lifespan versus health span. So lifespan is how long you live, health span is how long you're healthy for.
I always get a little bit nervous at the start and I start delaying things.
Oh, okay.
Start checking the technicals, having drinks.
Exciting to be here then.
Exciting to be here, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, welcome to Agentic e-commerce. Lou, thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
Really grateful for making the trip. Going to have a cool conversation about e-commerce, longevity, a little bit of AI. How are we utilizing AI agents in your business currently, or even just how you're dreaming about using them? And so this is my second podcast so far, and I've been telling people that I think I'm a better guest than a host currently. So,
right. So shall I be the judge of that?
Yeah, you be the judge of that,
Okay.
and we'll try and stay on track and stay tight. And so I've got a question to kick us off. Ageless You, can you give us the elevator pitch up front, just so people know what you do?
Okay, elevator pitch is when you turn about 40 or 50, things can start to fall apart. And that was my experience. And I did a deep dive into how to age better for my own personal reasons, and sort of ended up going through the lifestyle hacks and then got to supplements. And there seemed to be a whole lot of friction around knowing what supplements to take, how much to take, where to buy them from, had to take all these pills. So, cut a long story short, I thought longevity needs to be made easy. So I've pulled together 13 of the sort of most potent longevity ingredients and put them into one easy daily to drink powder.
Boom.
Yeah.
Fountain of youth in a scoop.
Yeah.
The scoop of youth.
Scoop of youth.
That's what I would have called it. Okay, brilliant. And can I take you to... Can you give us like a breakdown? Do you even know? Like, was there a single moment where you knew Ageless You had to exist? Like, do you remember?
In the space of 3 hours, I had two separate friends say to me, "This is too hard. Why do I have to go to 13 different websites to buy the supplements?" And the second person said to me, literally 2 or 3 hours later, "I don't want to take 15 pills."
Right, had you given them a roadmap? Had you given? Oh, so you'd done the research and you'd gone and you were taking.
Oh yeah, I had an email that I used to send out to all my friends. You know, where to buy it from, how much to take, what it did. Yeah.
And you'd done that research and you were taking all the things. You were doing it. You were doing the legwork.
But I was also beginning to realise it was quite expensive. I was spending about $250 to $300 a month buying the individual supplements.
Right. And you went. That was the moment. That day you went.
Yeah, there's just too much friction.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Epic. How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
Yeah. Nice. And so it's been a pretty interesting road over the last 2 years, and I'm keen to talk about your experience with agencies and building this stuff. But can you've got like a pretty storied business background already. Can you give us a little bit of your background in business leading into your e-commerce journey?
Typical serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Was sort of at the bleeding edge of the internet when it first started 30 odd years ago. Was all involved in digital marketing, or then it was called online advertising.
Yeah.
Had an agency doing that. Then I've had all sorts of different things.
Can we dig into that a little bit? Because I think that's interesting, right? Like, what were you actually doing?
Right. So I had a company called NetSpace. It was the first company in New Zealand that placed media on the internet. Wow. So they were banner ads.
And what are we talking? What year are we talking?
1990. God, it would have been 97 maybe.
1990. OG.
Yeah,
I say
97. It might have been earlier than that. 96 maybe. Yeah. So I went to New York. Well, I was working for a direct marketing agency. Yeah. Went to New York on holiday, and they said, go and see our, it was FCB, go and see our office in New York. So I went there, and the internet was just starting to happen. And I sort of said to them, okay, so what are your brands doing? How do they advertise themselves online? They said, they do these things called banner ads. And I said, well, who puts that all together? And they said, they've got different people that do it. Came back to New Zealand and realised there was no one doing that. It's basically like a media placement agency. Yeah. So I went to the press, I went to TVNZ, I went to Extra, all the companies in that had the real estate they needed to monetize it. So then I went to all the brands and put the two together.
You were basically the Facebook ad manager. You were the auction where you would do your ad sets and stuff, and you'd go get the inventory. Yeah, that's. I tell people, I like to say, I got in pretty early in 2011.
Yeah,
but there was a whole.
But it's hard being at the bleeding edge too. So I was bleeding edge. So I was educating everyone. Like I was having seminars in all the big ad agencies, Saatchi's. All of them at the
trying
time.
To go, this is the thing.
This is the thing, and I didn't get paid for that, and I just ended up burning myself out. And it was all the people that came along afterwards that had all the learnings that I got, and that's sort of how
So you've probably, I don't know anyone that was doing banner ads in 97. That's fun. So you got it early. You've kind of almost come full circle. Back to the online marketing world, and then what'd you do after that? Was there a couple of businesses in between?
Went down the health and fitness side of things. So I had a fitness business, had a supplement retail business, and then took time out, had kids, and then set up a online content marketing business.
Yeah.
Did all the a lot of videos for like Severe New Zealand or the tourism sort of players.
Cool.
And had the platform that did the online video at the time, so you had to stream it separately back then. Again, slightly bleeding edge.
Yeah.
And
so you're kind of first to market.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
Yeah. And that sort of morphed into a content agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then restaurants as well.
Well, that's my husband's gig.
Right. Okay. Cool. So you just
pulled into it.
Yeah. Operate in that space. Yeah. Cool. And because I think one of the things, like e-commerce is, all commerce is e-commerce now, right? It used to be a separate thing. Now it's pretty simple. But like, have you found it difficult doing the e-commerce thing as a solo founder? Because there's a lot to manage. There's a lot of deliverables, or is that
hardest thing I've ever done?
Okay. Hardest thing you've ever done.
I've had a lot of different businesses. They've all been hard, but this is the hardest. If I'd done it maybe 10 years ago, I might not be saying that, but it's become really hard. It's really competitive. There's so much to learn. I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah. And
so I went into it. I'd still do it again tomorrow, but being a solo founder, bootstrapping, it's hard. It's really hard because there's just so much to learn. And
so many components.
So many components. It's just like, I feel like, if it wasn't for some of the technology, I'd probably have to employ about 6 people. But so that hasn't been, the technology, AI, we're going to talk about that, but that enables you to be more productive. But yeah, it's the hardest thing I've done because it is so competitive. You can't just open an online store and
print money.
Yeah, and print money. And the 1% of businesses that we hear about all day, every day on our streams. Yeah, that's 1%. So
if that.
Yeah, and they've had good luck, good timing. Probably some funding.
A lot of them are running ads when they were bloody cheap.
Yeah,
and they acquired all their customers then.
Yeah, exactly. So 10 years ago, you're probably paying 5 cents a click. Now you're paying, I'm paying, $3.
$3-4, yeah. And I think e-commerce founders need to hear that, because a lot of e-commerce founders, especially ones I work, it's their first business because it's this natural thing, and you do see the constant stories from the agencies and the coaches that are essentially pitching the best results they've ever had, right? And so you get this like inflated perception, and then people come in and go, but this is hard. Do I suck? Like, what's the go?
Yeah. They throw all these ROAS numbers at you, and it's like, well, why aren't I doing that? They've probably picked their top 1%.
Yeah, exactly. So there's this cherry picking in the market, and then if you don't have context, you might just be going, like, this is so hard, it's me. But the business owners that have actually been, I am one of our practitioners on the program, Brad. He's an accountant, right? Mm-hmm. And he used to always say, like, why don't these brands get their data to me on time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he goes and starts an e-commerce business, and now he's manages his production, and he's doing buying trips, and he's doing his marketing, he's doing all this stuff. And he's going, yeah, now I get it. An e-commerce business owner has to juggle so many different balls that most other business owners don't. And I didn't have that perspective until I started working with the brands and hearing this, because all I've ever really known is e-commerce. But again, when I started, it was a lot simpler. You could kind of like make your product, make a couple of ads, put the ads up, run them for a few years.
Yeah, now you've got to produce video at scale. day in, day out. You've got
Every
social
single
media, you've got to do, it's
Yeah. Hence
volume.
why for the challenger brands, for the smaller brands coming into the market, 2025 and all the years hereafter are going to be dominated by agents and your AI agents. Your ability to integrate AI tools and technology and agents into your business to take some of that workflow off your plate, right? And I think it's really important to be doing it quite quickly, because when everyone's there, it's like that's the competitive advantage. So there's this little competitive advantage, the same advantage that the brands had on Facebook in 2015. Brands at the front of AI technology now have a similar advantage, but I think that the window feels a little bit. It's a smaller window to slip through.
Yeah, and then everyone will eventually catch up. But yeah.
Yeah, and they're catching up quite quick, which is really interesting, right? So keen to go into what gaps did you see in the longevity space? Is obviously like removing all the friction. How did you go about producing this product? How did you go about creating the differentiated product? Like, where did you start? What did you do?
I just started seeking out people online that were into longevity. Ben Greenfield was the first one, for example. He's like one of the best he won PT of the year in the States and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I started following him because he basically said, this is how you exercise for longevity. And that was sort of my thing. It was like, that's the thing I really noticed I couldn't exercise. So he started me going down that rabbit hole. And I looked at the supplements he took. And then I started looking at the supplements specifically, and then the individual people that did all the research on those supplements, like David Sinclair, who does the NMN research. And began and looked at all the different brands out there and what they were doing and the research, and basically worked out a hierarchy of what I believe to be the best supplements.
Right.
It was about 20 of them, and then we had to try and work out, because it was going into a powder form, it had to taste good, it had to taste well, it had to mix well. As it stands, we've got a bit of grit at the moment that we're getting rid of in our new formula, but
Right.
it took a lot to get it to a point of almost perfection, but nothing's ever perfect really in that world. But it was so I came up with initially 7 ingredients that sort of gave you the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah.
I put a potent dose in
Yeah.
of each ingredient, because that's how you get the results.
Yeah.
It pushed it up I pushed it up on a price point that I wasn't too sure I wanted to go to.
Right.
But I went for the quality supplement that gets you results to get the lifetime value of the customer. So if they weren't feeling better, they're not going to buy it the second, third, and fourth time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, in this game, you know what it costs to acquire that customer the first time round.
Yeah,
If you don't have a quality, if you're not actually getting measurable, like noticeable change,
Yeah.
no deal, right?
Yeah.
You're out the door. Okay, so it was essentially a process of research experts and then your lived experience using the products.
Right,
and
yeah.
then-
So I was taking the products.
Yeah.
I was taking probably 20 odd supplements.
Yeah.
And
So you're mad scientist.
yeah, I was the petri dish.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So, but I was taking them all at different times and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I worked out, I don't know if I worked out exactly what was making me feel better. I sort of had a sense of what was making me feel better, but I leaned into the science for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, and I've got my new formula's got another 7 ingredients in it that's coming out next week.
An additional 7?
I've taken 2 out.
Right, okay, so this is like an evolving...
Yeah. Yeah, I took 2 out. One was a bit gritty.
Yeah.
And the second one was an ingredient called resveratrol. And the science has developed in the last 6 months. It's not as compelling as pterostilbene, which is also in the formula. And I thought, well, why do I need resveratrol? A, it's expensive. B,
Right.
pterostilbene's doing the same thing. And
Wow.
C, the research was, a little bit conflicting, so I took it out. So that's the thing. It's always going to be an evolving formula.
What I'm picking up from this is like the level of actual science and analysis that you've gone to develop a product that will win over time, which is epic. And there's a lot of business owners we meet and they come in the call, and they're like, they're doing this thing, doing the supplement, and they've banged it together, right? And it's not selling. I'm not getting repeat purchases, and they're optimizing their Clavio, it's all quite tactical marketing things, but it's all like you're actually going, I'm going to develop the best product on the market. Yeah, which takes a lot of. Do you think you'd even be able to do it if it wasn't solving a problem you were passionate about, like for yourself?
Isn't that why all founders start businesses though?
Yeah, not all of them, but right. I guess it'd be hard, right? Like,
like anything, you have to passionately believe that there are benefits in what you're doing, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. So, I'm living proof, N equals 1 of me, but, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. My biological age is 10 years younger.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, you look bloody good.
Yeah, I know. I know it works. And, the amazing thing is to start to see all the customers that start saying they feel better. And one lady said to me at Christmas, I was on actually one of my reviews, that she went to a Christmas lunch and all her friends insisted she was taking Botox, but she wasn't.
Oh, you're right. She's getting the Botox young.
Yeah, but it's actually not about making you look younger. It's cellular youth, but
it's a nice bonus, though.
Yeah.
How many of your customers do you think are in it for the internal feeling or the external?
Well, quite a few of them, which is why I've got the skin product.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I call my vanity product. So if
yeah.
you're going to spend $129 a month on feeling good, you might be inclined to spend another $59 on looking better.
Yeah, and that especially I think, and we've talked about this in New Zealand, that's quite a punchy price point, right?
Yeah.
But then you compare it against the benefit of feeling and looking 10 years younger, maybe 20 years younger. It's a big win.
Daily cost is $4.50 a day.
Yeah.
What do you spend on a cup of coffee a day?
Yeah. Aren't they like $100 now?
Yeah.
But they can be like 8, right?
Yeah. But that's why when I first went into the research of it, my vision, my goal was it had to be less than a daily cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So that was where
That's your limiter.
Yeah, that was
because otherwise I guess it could blow out forever. You can just keep putting
there's
in.
one in the States. It's like a milk. It's like a protein shake. It's like $200.
Yeah.
It's got everything in it, but
Yeah, I really love how you're onto Formula probably 3 now. You had your concoctions, then you had a prototype, then you had your first market release, and you gave your second market release.
Yeah.
So when people are buying into Ageless You, they're actually buying into almost outsourcing the consistent innovation to you. You're like, I'm going to keep this product at pace with the research.
Yeah. Yeah, science-led.
Science-led.
Yeah.
That's epic. That's how founders should be thinking about their product development, like at that level.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them don't. I think they focus on how do I sell this thing to people versus how do I get the absolute best product possible.
And the science is, science is all over the place because often there's politics behind it and that sort of thing. But you just got to keep abreast of it. And there's a lot of what's great now and what's not, and there's a lot of trends, creatines, everything's about that now. But when the research, that'll take 3 really potent research studies and clinical trials to come out, and that will elevate a supplement as well.
Yeah, right.
And the other problem is the quality of the supplements themselves. That's a whole other rabbit hole.
Yeah. Where do you make it? Where do you make it?
Here in a GMP
facility.
GMP and FDA certified facility.
If you had one piece of advice for founders to source and achieve quality ingredients, what is it? How do you know? How do you? Well,
you sourcing, you need to, I guess, know where to source it, but you've always got an insurance policy in the fact that once it's sourced, there's 2 levels of tests you can do. There's tests for trace materials, making sure it's pure, and there's nothing bad in it. And then there's another level of tests, assay tests, where you are testing how much potency's in it. Like if you've got, say it's got NMN, is it 99% NMN? A whole lot of tests have just come out in the States, and some of them don't even have NMN in them.
So it's saying NMN on the package, none in there.
None in there. So I'm just in the process at the moment of getting those final assay tests, and they'll be all on my website for every ingredient.
That's wild, eh? And that's part of the problem online is anyone can spin these things up, shitty job, we've got a supplement brand, Shilajit. You heard of Shilajit?
Yeah, right. That's the thing from Nepal.
Nepal, yeah. And so we're doing a version of that, and there's all these ones on the market, and it's this like stuff out of China, and the founder Amit, he's from Nepal, and he's going, this isn't Shilajit. It's literally not. It's a brown gunky thing. Get it tested. It's literally, it's not even chemically similar. It's it's imitation.
It's dirt from Nepal.
Whatever. Yeah, mate. Is it, or is it from Guangzhou? You know, like and so it must be. Yeah. How do you compete with that? Like, do you publicize the level of?
You publish. I will be. I mean, I haven't. I've got one. I send them out if people email me, but I'm actually about to put them on a website so people can actually see the reports from the labs.
Here's my certificates. Here's my reports. Here's the due diligence.
Yeah, and there's one step further you can go. When I launched in the States, is there's a company called Consumer Lab, and you give them your product, and they verify it themselves and publish it.
Yeah, okay, and that's probably pretty pricey.
It's not too bad, but I'd do it.
Would you buy? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of going, especially a supplement I see online or in a store. I want to see the certs. Yeah, show me your papers.
Yeah, I mean, you're ingesting it.
Yeah, and it's a different world now, right? Like with the amount of proliferation, it probably leads us to one of the questions I had for you. Like, it's a pretty crowded market. There's a lot of people doing it. Did you think about that going in? Were you worried about it? How you're going, I'm going to develop the best product, but is there any other ways that you're looking to stand out in a crowded market?
Yeah, it's really hard. When I first launched, there was only one other company doing this in the States, right. And I was like, oh, no one's actually gotten on to this yet. Competition's inevitable.
Yep.
And if competition's in the market, you know you're actually onto something.
Yep.
So you just need to iterate and make sure what you're doing I spent a lot of time trying to work out what my point of difference was. Company in the States didn't have to worry about it too much. I will when I go there, but their product does not include NMN. You have to buy that separately.
Yeah.
So that's one point of difference. Then AgeMate came into the market a month before I launched, and that was a real thorn in my side.
Right.
17 ingredients. I had 7. Their potency was way down though.
Yeah.
And they were cheaper. So I had to think really long and hard about what my point of difference was. And basically, I had double the NMN, and mine is made in a GMP FDA facility with all the testing. Theirs comes out of China.
Right. Yeah.
And we all know about that. They publish one of their ingredients. They say everything's tested, but they only publish one of them. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to publicly go out there and diss them.
Yeah, we won't want to do that thing, but you're just going, hey,
I'm the quality. It's the quality. Made in New Zealand, FDA, GMP facility.
Yep.
There's a quality stamp on it. They cannot do that. And no one knows what comes out of those factories in China, particularly in supplements. Yeah, and I've had a lot of customers contact me actually and go, I've been taking that AgeMate one. I'm not very happy about it because I know it comes from China.
Whew. Shots fired.
Yeah,
we'll get that in there. Maybe we'll cut that into an ad. see how that goes. My podcast might get sued on round 2.
Yeah.
Or I guess we spur them on to a higher quality product. Either way, the market wins, right?
But the market wins. But to me, it's quality wins. But I had to really think long and hard. Where am I going to position myself?
Yes.
And the most expensive ingredient in all the formulas are NMN. It's expensive and it's the most potent and it's the one that gives you the most results.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's where you started.
Yep.
And then were you thinking through, at what point did you start thinking through the front end, the brand, the product, the connectivity? Are there any other things, or if a brand owner came to you and said, hey, I've got the best product in the market, it's differentiated, but all these other guys are beating me. What do I do to compete? Like, what do you think the other elements outside of the best product are you can use to differentiate?
The added value of being founder-led, I think, is a big one because I can offer knowledge.
Yeah.
hopefully it's credible, it's seen as credible.
Yeah.
But so a lot of my, not my ads, but a lot of my content on my website and a lot of my socials are always talking about longevity and the 5 pillars of longevity. And it's like, okay, well, you can take the supplement, but these are all the lifestyle things you need to do as well. So that is probably where I sort of take that side of things as well.
Yeah. So the education, the community, and because ultimately, right, like there's your product, but then there's the lifestyle that the individual's leading.
Yeah. And I guess I try and be the inspiration from that. The 2 other founders of my key competitors are in their 30s. So, they can talk about it all day, every day, but, I'm actually living, breathing example of how to live a good life as you get older. So I'm hoping that and the way I present it inspires people who are 50, because that's what I'm trying to do. And they look at me and it's relatable.
Because I bought some in whatever you call it, and then but it doesn't even work. Like it's not worthwhile.
It's not going to work for you because you're under 40. So from the age of 30, from 40, when you hit 40, your NMN, your NAD levels, which is what NMN creates, are reduced by 50%. Yours are kicking along really well.
I'm sweet.
Yeah,
I'm producing my own.
You don't need NMN.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Good to know. They didn't tell me that on the website I bought it from.
Yeah. Just take your money.
Yeah, just take my money. I got some other thing. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, okay, interesting. So if we change tack a little bit again, and so we've got the best product in the market, we're going along. It was probably a bit of a seeing a competitor launch a month before. That's a tough punch to take.
Yeah.
Have there been any other hits that you've taken along the journey that have been pretty tough that you've had to deal with?
Working with an agency that's a goodie. Completely took their eye off the ball, all bells and whistles to start with, and then just I felt like I was a pea in a bowl of soup.
Okay, shit. And we don't need to name and shame them, but can you take us through that experience? I spent a lot of time and energy trying to convince e-commerce brands to take their destiny into their own hands, and at the very least know enough to be dangerous. So if you do engage a freelancer in an agency, you can hold them to account. So what was your experience there? Could you take me through it?
So my biggest problem was, my own problem was, I didn't know what I didn't know. So I was like, right, okay, I'm launching this e-commerce brand. I put all this effort into the product. I sort of know what I have to do. I've sort of got my head around Shopify a little bit. EDMs, maybe can do that because I used to be a direct marketer. But it was the meta moment that got me really freaked out. I was like, fuck, I don't even know what to do. And you get told that there's all this, secret science behind the media buying and all that. So I put all my faith into an agency model. And I don't think they just do what they do, and I don't hold them accountable per se. It's their model. So their model is that I pay them X amount. They might look at the account for 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, and you get a report at the end of the month. And whereas and I felt really vulnerable with that because I wasn't happy with the results, but I didn't know enough to hold them to be accountable, and I didn't even know what questions to be asking. I just looked at the ROAS at the end of every month and go, oh yeah, that's good, and then it suddenly wasn't good, and no one.
So it went okay to begin with.
Yeah, it went okay to begin with.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been okay. Yeah, I mean, I got to $5,000 a month within 3 months, so
not bad.
I was happy with that. We weren't spending a lot. That was really just my trial phase.
Yep.
And went pretty well for 6 months, and then it just died, and no one could tell me why. And I was like, okay, I'm not very happy with this. And 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 I had no control of that. They were doing the creative, and I didn't have any control or say over that, and wasn't happy with that. So I just got to a point where I was like, I'm going nowhere fast.
Yeah.
I need to know the question. I need to have control. I need to know what works and what doesn't work and why it's not working. So at that point I was like, I'm going to have to start doing this myself.
Yeah.
Didn't know where to start and felt really quite terrified about it.
Yeah, nice. And then got one of our ads.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and could you just... We might be able to save a few founders here. You did one agency?
I did two, actually.
You did two?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did two and then got off the... Can you talk through that second experience?
The second one was similar, promised me a whole lot, got slightly better results, but they ended up giving me a junior person that, you know, I had a meeting with once a month, and they said I've got to produce all this creative, but didn't help me with it, and then it just was, you know, same thing. It was an agency model.
Similar, same fraction.
Yeah.
Of the same, different fractions, same ultimate outcome.
Nothing against the person that was working with me, and that, you know, was probably really good. If she could have spent 10 hours a week on it like I do.
Yeah.
But the agency model doesn't allow that.
Yeah. Especially at the earlier stages.
Yeah, I mean, if I was spending tens of thousands of dollars a meter and had, you know, more money to put at it, you'd probably get a senior person, but...
Yeah, or you get a really high-level agency or whatever.
Yeah, but even if I was at that point... You need to get to that point, and you're only going to get to that point if you know what questions to ask, what performance looks like, you know, what to do about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one of the things I admire about you, and you're a long-term business owner, you get it, you know what you're doing, is the ownership. You know, a lot of people have that bad agency experience, and they go, and they go agency 3, 4, 5, 6. And they go, these agencies suck, and it's all kind of projection and blame.
Yeah.
Versus like, well, that's the model I bought in. I had a couple of goes and went, no, actually, this model doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you have any specific red flags, or by that second one, it was more like going, if you could go over again, what's your recommendation? Just don't do it? Don't do an agency as a small brand that's launching? Like, figure it out yourself first? Or do you think that there is an agency out there that could make sense? Like, you've got a mate, they come to you and they go, I'm launching this brand, I think I'm going to do an agency. What do you say to them? I
would say do it yourself. You need to learn.
Cool.
You need to learn how to do it, how it all works. And you do it yourself with an accelerator or with a coaching platform all day, every day. That's what I would recommend. I would absolutely recommend, because to do it completely on your own, you're in the sort of big wild west, and you can probably make a lot of expensive mistakes and throw a whole lot of money at the wall and, you know, not have the knowledge. But it's also, you know, you need a bit of support somewhere along the way too.
You need a bit of support. Okay, yeah, cool. That makes sense. I love this. This is a great pitch for our stuff. But it's true. It's real, right? Like, it's real. And I guess in the same way that you're obsessively fanatical about your anti-aging product, I'm obsessively fanatical about my product that helps e-com brand owners scale.
Yeah.
Same thing. Had my brand, fucked it up, you know, learned a bunch. So what happens in that transition period? So you're on second agency, and then you see Yara. Could you talk us through your experience?
I'd seen your ad come through last year.
Yeah.
And I'd sort of like your jibe and what you were saying, and you know, you resonated with me. And I'd also seen a couple of other e-commerce accelerators doing a lot of advertising.
Yep.
But I could tell that they were becoming the other ones were sort of factories, really.
Yeah.
And and I guess I like that you were Kiwi. I think, you know, most of them are Australia or US based.
Yeah.
So that was an appeal, but I was sort of really open-minded. It was just that first phone call I had with you. You had me sold within the first probably 10 minutes. Yeah,
let's go. That's what we like. Yeah. And what sold you? What sold you on the e-commerce accelerator?
Everything, really. You gave me a lot of confidence in what you'd done and what you were doing, but it was the model. It was the model that it was, because I had looked at the other coaching programs, and this one was a lot more. It gave you a lot more support. Yeah, a lot more support. And I could tell that you personally felt accountable, or not accountable, but I could sense that you were personally invested in our success. Yeah. I felt that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how it is. I do feel accountable. I feel accountable to every partner's P&L.
Yeah, and I'd never hold you to that, but I know that if that's what you're thinking, I've seen it come through with all the coaches as well.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's awesome you say that. And I think as well with the coaches, because we haven't scaled rapidly, and the other, programs on the market, and everyone knows about them. E-commerce Equation's the big one. David Fogarty's got Daily Mentors, etc. And they are bigger. There's a lot more throughput. And when you're scaling that rapidly, often you're either going to have a situation where you don't have enough airtime, right? You don't actually get the one-on-one airtime, or you've got relatively junior or maybe intermediate individuals.
It becomes the agency model again.
You kind of back to that place, right?
Yeah.
Whereas what I wanted to do was actually get brand owners. Like most of our practitioners, even our accounting guy, he owns a brand.
Yeah.
And the email guy owns a brand. Everyone owns a brand because you gotta, I feel like, to be able to give really good, strong advice, you've got to understand what it's like to be an e-commerce founder.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you make recommendations like, oh, have you tried testing more ads?
Yeah.
Try these ones.
Yeah.
But you're not going like, oh, I know we lose that. She's going, this has happened.
You've had to have felt the pain.
Yeah. And so you can give more precise, specific, actionable advice when you've actually owned a brand.
Yeah.
And you've been in the game for long enough. Because I think that the agency model has merits. Like my thing with the coaching only programs, and I had one, right? It was the iteration of this before we started working together, was all coaching. It just took too long. I'd love to just kind of dig in a little bit the experience we had with your Meta ad account, right? To have coached you through that without getting in there, rolling up our hands, digging it out. Oh no, actually, let's try this other testing strategy. I mean, that used to take like 6-9 months for us to get to a stable place where we're like, okay, this is how to run the ad account. Here's your SOP. So I don't even know what the question in that was. There's my amateur hosting experience coming through. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, from your perspective, have you noticed this blend of an agency and a coaching program? Because in a lot of ways we still do agency stuff, right?
Yeah, I think the beauty is that when you need the help, it's there.
Yeah.
But I think your model works really well for me. I mean, I'm a learner. I love learning, and so I'm sucking up all the knowledge, and you provide all that knowledge. It's almost on tap. Like I think I said to you, I feel like I'm drinking water out of a fire hose at the moment, and the knowledge is on tap. But if anything gets overwhelming and I can't do it, that expertise is there too. So you're sort of getting the best of both worlds. If you need the expertise, I mean, I have been, Tyler, for example, has really held my hand in the Meta because I didn't know what I was doing. Still don't really know what I'm doing, and I know he's there. That expertise there. Yeah. And I think particularly in the first month, you sort of had that done for you model where you had all sorts of things that you helped me set up, so it wasn't quite so overwhelming. Yeah. Because you sort of feel like you're in the big wild west, particularly if you have come from an agency.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like what I identified was, okay, agency model, no control, no understanding. You'll do it. Oh, it's not working. Coaching and community model. Go into that course with 26 modules and learn for 9 hours and then try and figure it out with a low experience. It's like neither one's actually ideal because, for example, when you come onto the accelerator, we can do an hour on your front end offer, and then you've got the course there, which is 10 hours, but that's a reference material for later.
Yeah, you go and look at it later. So some people learn in different ways.
Yeah.
I'm quite good at looking at the videos, but some people are just, they can only learn by having a conversation. Some people, my daughter she can't watch a video, she has to read. Everyone's different.
Everyone's different.
And you need, that's, I think you allow those different learning capabilities of people in the program.
My personal view, and everyone's different, I think the best way to learn is to be like, here's a brilliant example of it completed in your context, in your brand. Replicate that.
Yeah.
Check in if you've got any problems.
Yeah.
And so that's the basic model. Let's just do it for you so you can see it working, and then let's recreate it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're kind of in there going, okay, that's the case study, but that's not my brand. Oh, it's a bit tough, eh? What would you What would you say to any founders or brands considering joining the e-commerce accelerator?
Sign up tomorrow.
Cool.
Hands down. Best thing I've ever done.
Yeah,
I'm not just saying that because I'm on your podcast.
yeah. You actually mean that, eh?
I genuinely mean it. It's been a game changer for me. Absolute game changer. I feel so empowered by it. I mean, I've learnt more in the last, when did I start? March, April. I'm only 3 months into it, not even finished my third month. I've learnt more in the last 3 months than I've learnt in the last 2 years, researching the business and launching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've got a long way to go, hell of a long way to go, but I feel I've got I just know what I need to do now, and I know what to look for, and I still need this.
Yeah.
But I absolutely need it. I think I'll be one of your clients forever. But
what we want.
but you've totally empowered me and changed the way in which I do business.
Yeah. Well, that's bloody good.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
that's an ad. We'll get that up as an ad, mate.
the community's really powerful.
Yeah.
That's really powerful because it's you'd probably know it's lonely being a founder on your own.
Yeah.
And most of the founders some of them I sense are on their own, not all of them, but it's lonely.
Yeah.
And the community actually just being able to tap into people and ask questions.
And have a bit of a yarn and have a bit of a connection. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, the school, just pop up a question and you think, oh, someone else is going through that pain.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thanks for that. That was bloody good. And I'm proud of the product. I think it's a brilliant product. And now I guess my job is I'm like the plumber. I'm the plumber with an unfinished bathroom,
Yeah.
And that's finally now, after telling my clients for however many years, make more creative.
Yeah.
We're actually here doing it, you
Yeah.
know? So it's pretty cool. And I guess I had like a high bar. I'd constantly look at my product despite we've got 100% 5-star reviews and I'm like, oh yeah, but it's a bit shit. So I'm constantly optimizing it, but that's actually, and I think there's a lesson in that for founders as well. It's something you maybe pulled off because you had the business experience, is like you got to a great level, launched, and then continued to optimize. That progress over perfection idea.
Yeah.
Whereas I see there's a lot of the founders, a lot of the brands, they've maybe got a second product ready to go, or they wait too long, and then the AgeMate comes out, or whatever happens, and then they just, like, the idea fades, and they don't actually. You've got to get out there before you feel like the product's.
Yeah, I've always been a believer in progress and not perfection is my biggest mantra.
Yeah.
And I think in the online world, not necessarily the online world, just the world we live in, minimal viable product is a pretty good place to start.
Yeah, for sure. It's just one more little yarn about product, and then I think we'll get into a bit of AI chat because I'm keen to, we might scare everyone with our philosophy on it, but ageless living, fountain of youth, biological age, this whole industry, where do you reckon it's going in 5 years? Like, how are you orientating towards it? Have you got any, or even 10 years? Like, are we going to live forever?
Well, Brian Johnson would like to think so.
Yeah.
I don't want to live forever because everyone else will be dead.
Yeah, I don't want to live forever either, but like,
I think,
what's the future of blue sky? Is there anything?
Well, the blue sky at the moment is very much about lifespan versus health span. So lifespan is how long you live, health span is how long you're healthy for.
Cool.
So basically the goal is to live as healthily as you can, and then maybe suddenly at 90 you just go, or 95 or whatever it is. In the States, 75% of the population over 65 are living with some sort of chronic condition.
Wow.
So everything that I do in my supplements help prevent those age-related disease coming along. So you have a longer health span, not necessarily a longer lifespan. So that's my personal goal. You've got all these people out there that are trying to live forever. That's fine. That's their gig. My gig is about increasing your health span. The science is working at breakneck paces.
Yeah.
Breakneck pace with AI and all that, the studies and everything. There will be things coming along that, ingredients in 2 or 3 years' time, which will probably be in my formula that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, that we don't even know. Like the AI's going to... I've never heard that before. Health span versus lifespan.
Yeah.
I love that. That's actually what you want.
Yeah.
You don't want to be living to 90 with the last 25 years in a rest home with XYZ.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you want to live to 92... but be walking up
Yeah.
your favourite mountain at 88.
Yeah, and just stripping on the way down and pum, you're gone.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. Whoopsies. I like that. Why have I never heard that before? Health span. And so that's actually your primary mission. So let's reverse our biological age, but let's live healthier. Let's live fuller lives for longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's really cool. And then the Brian Johnsons are trying to figure out the infinite.
Live forever. But yeah, I mean, people are doing work, everyone's saying there'll be a magic pill one day. I mean, there's the Evolution Foundation, which has put $1 billion into trying to solve aging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do we want to? How does it work? And the kids and the things, and if we live forever, then is anything important again?
Yeah,
and how does it all plug together? Yeah. Right?
Just live the best life you can for as long as you can.
Yeah.
How long? It doesn't matter how long you live.
That's your advice to people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. How have you gone running the family world alongside your high demand e-commerce business? I mean, I guess your kids are older, so it's been okay.
Yeah, I meant Danessa.
Yeah. So you haven't found that. Yeah, that's probably not the best question, given they're a bit older. But
yeah.
Do you reckon? Because there's a lot of founders that have young families, and I look at them and I go, "You guys are amazing."
Yeah.
How do you pull it off?
Yeah, well, there's obviously in the accelerator, there's lots of young mums because they've all got those baby products and things.
Yeah, and they're just
organised priorities. I mean, I worked the whole way through my kids being younger.
Yeah,
it's just about compartmentalising,
yeah,
knowing when to turn off.
Turn off.
Yeah.
That's. Yeah,
but given the demands of an e-commerce business that I know now, I would have found that really hard.
Yeah, it would have been tougher because it's kind of an always-on game.
Yeah.
Yes, it's interesting. Okay, so health span over lifespan, AI is changing everything, and the reality is that we don't know where it's going to end up, so it's iterative. You just got to stay at the forefront, keep the quality high.
Yeah.
Okay, and funnily enough, great segue into AI technology, agents, how we use them in the business. I was having a conversation today. It's like, I just want to know, where's it going to end up? What am I aiming towards? I'm like, give up on that. Mm-hmm. That's out the door. We do not have any idea, really. We've got a really clear idea where it's going to end up ultimately. Terminator, robots take over, I
was going to say, isn't AI going to decide that for us?
Yeah, that's where it's going to end up. But then it's 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I'm not sure. My advice is use AI as much as you possibly can right now in every daily process. So just start communing with it, is the word I'm using. Intentionally using the word commune, because it's not just I've got a problem, I want to solve it. Chat with it, share your stories with it. You got a therapist spot, whatever. I'm having a problem with a spreadsheet, screenshot. Know how to make this formula? Oh, you do. Wow, that's cool. So that's been my biggest piece of advice with AI, is don't try and figure out exactly where the puck's going. Just start using it so that you get the behavior change in your system. So when the really big, juicy things come along, which is kind of happening right now, you're ready.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that advice? What do you reckon?
It's really good advice. I mean, I'm probably living, breathing example of that though, because I love technology, always have.
Yeah.
This program has probably helped me understand where the ecosystem of AI works, but I'm always looking for the next best thing in AI. Yeah. I tried to make a video a year ago on AI and it was just crap. And it's getting better, and it's just for me, it's, I'm engaging in it all the time. And
how are you engaging?
ChatGPT helps me with everything, my thought process, critical thinking, I guess, if I've got a problem. Obviously helps me write copy, and you often that's starting with a blank page, and it just helps you, with that. But you've actually got to be careful that you don't just let AI do everything. You've got to put your nuance on it. But I think where I'm really excited about it is how it can help me with the work that takes a lot of time, which is the creative side of things. That takes a lot of time. I probably spend, what I have learned on the program is at the moment, the single most important thing for me to get success out of my business is the quality of my creative.
Yeah.
That's what's going to move the dial over everything else.
Yeah.
So being able to produce good creative at scale, that's hard.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also that thought for how do you be creative all the time. And so if AI can help that, that's huge for me.
Yeah.
You know, AI might play more into media buying and all that sort of thing, and you know, like with Meta and how they're getting their, you know,
There's some wild things.
what they're spending on their AI. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see where all that goes.
Yeah, I guess you're doing banner ads in '97.
Yeah,
so you've got the AI advantage.
Yeah.
Just completely side note, but you know, not your business, but it's restaurant business. Use cases there, because I feel like e-commerce entrepreneurs, like, and we're going to get lots of people watching this podcast because my personal brand's kind of like wide ranging.
Yeah.
Like, I think e-commerce founders have an advantage because it's all online, it's all a bit techie, it's all a bit that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What about for more traditional business owners that are running a restaurant or a cafe or a tire shop or a whatever? How would you get them across the line?
That's an interesting point. I think it's just being aware of what technology's out there, and I mean, yeah, that you've stumped me there. I'm just trying to think in the restaurant world how you'd use it. I mean,
do you guys? Yeah, is there anyone? Are people doing things? Are you taking photos of recipes? Are you going, what could we do here? What?
Not yet. We're using it in marketing. We're using it a bit. Obviously, ChatGPT and but. Yeah, I haven't seen an obvious use case, but you know, I just had to send a letter yesterday to a company that was going to provide us with some amazing technology that was going to pull all our numbers together between both restaurants and give us all the KPIs, and it just isn't good enough. And I had to get out of it. You know, that's the sort of thing that AI will solve for me.
But it's not there yet.
It's not there yet.
It's not there
It's not there yet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But AI would be all over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And there's there's so many like, they're like good use cases, but they're a bit scary.
Yeah.
Like AI wearables that listen to all the conversations that the waiters have and then sends that to the SOPs about how to communicate.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, that'd be good, right? Because you'd get feedback and you'd get training and you'd be like, you know, but then it's like, well, that's a precursor to the AIs watching us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a bunch of fear in there. So I guess you're kind of natural to the technology. How do you do it? Like, how do you do it in your daily life? Have you just got ChatGPT? I just want to get really granular, because one of the things that I've noticed, and that's why I like to start everyone, is just get a window, get to know it, start communing with it. But it's almost doesn't cut through. Do you have it bookmarked in your browser?
Yep.
Is it?
So I'm on.
What do you actually do?
I'm on ChatGPT all day,
all day,
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Just any task I have to do,
You're like, oh, can I use a ChatGPT?
Yep.
Might just ask it.
I use ChatGPT for voice. I found it already 11 Labs, is it?
Yep.
That's really helped me with voice, because I try and do a lot of creative and I can't always do it myself, and you can't have me saying it all the time.
Yep.
It took me a long time to find the right voice, but I've done that. Had some success with a couple of ads with that. I've obviously Foreplay.
Yep.
It's fantastic. That's AI, pretty much.
Yep.
Yep. That's amazing.
Yep. Swipe files.
Yep.
Easy, telling you which ads to copy.
Yeah, that sort of thing. I mean, obviously, there's that one motion we talked about. I don't know. That's AI. The great thing about that AI is it can tell you, it can look at your high performing ads and then write a creative brief.
Brilliant.
But yeah, so but I'm always looking. I haven't quite got there with images and video yet.
Yeah. And I think that's the next step. That's the frontier. Like VO3 just came out. If you can't use it in the US, but theoretically, if you went and got a US email address, which isn't that hard, and you got a VPN, you could use it immediately. VO3, Google.
Oh, that's
Google. It's a new Google model. It's those videos I showed you earlier.
Yeah.
You're like, that can't be AI.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there. It's wild. So VPN, if you were going to do it, and get into VO3 and you can produce absolutely amazing creative. We're talking single text prompts, the video, the background, the voiceover, the captions, the whole 9 yards, special effects. It's all integrated. And so that's today. What's next? I think that's got in there now. What we're building right now, which we're going to release into the accelerator in a minute, is going to be it's kind of a structured process. Because what I'm thinking about is like, how does a human get the majority of the raw outputs produced for them, pushed to them, so that they can then analyze and do the final edits?
So flip the model.
Flip the model, right?
Yeah.
Have it coming to you because they have all the data.
Right.
And so what we're working through at the moment, it's going to be 7 stages. But the idea is that we have 2 agents, one for internal research, one for external research. And
so can you define an agent for me?
Great question. An AI agent is a autonomous bot. So it's basically, there's ChatGPT and you're interacting with the ChatGPT to ask the questions. Well, if we take you out of that scenario and we put a automation software in with automated triggers, then all of a sudden
AI is talking to AI.
AI is talking to AI, and that's essentially an agent. So essentially what you have is a cluster of GPTs stitched together with automation that's replacing your human inputs and back and forth. Yeah. And so automations plus AIs plus input and output sources and output documents, that's essentially an agent. You're an agent, right?
So give me a use case of that.
Yeah, great. I'll start with a simpler one. Generating copy. We want to generate copy. So we've created a structured creative strategy framework that ensures all the right questions are asked to generate a transcript with juicy information inside it. Now, what's one of the things we have a lot of trouble with our brands? Getting them to do a creative strategy meeting every week on a specific cadence. You know, you remember the cadence conversation?
Yep.
And you're one of our best students.
Yeah.
And even sometimes you'll struggle a little bit, right? You're actually pretty bloody good, but you're the exception that proves the rule. Yep. So, and the reason often people don't do the creative strategy meeting is because it's like, oh, I've got to do the research and I've got to do the swipe files, I've got to do all this stuff. So we're creating 2 different agents, one for external research, one for internal research. The external research agent goes and looks at Reddit, goes and looks in Foreplay, goes and looks at the top 5 ad libraries, goes and looks in a Facebook group that you know.
Yep.
So goes and looks at
competitors,
competitor brands,
okay.
Amazon reviews.
Yep.
And each one of those things I just mentioned, each one of those is a GPT that's specifically trained to process Amazon reviews.
Wow.
And it's all automated in this system. And then that external research comes in. Then we've got an agent for internal research. It's plugged into your Shopify. It's plugged into your ad accounts. It's plugged into your reviews. It's plugged into your customer service. Plugged into your stock levels. It knows everything about your current data. Mm-hmm. It provides an internal research report. So now you've got 2 reports, right? 2. Yeah. That's a research. That's an analyst and a researcher. Mm. And so, easier way to define an agent. It's a human.
Yeah.
You know, we're a little bit over time, but we'll be finished up in a sec.
Yeah.
It's just like, think about it just like any human that has agency. They can move around and do things. So now we've got 2 reports, right? We've done all our external research and all our internal research. You with me so far?
Yeah.
Where does that go to normally? The creative strategist, right? So that creative strategist now has all this data and it's trained on, well, based on all of that information, based on all of this information, I'm going to suggest to Lou that this week we promote these products with these angles to these avatars. These ads are good examples. This one worked in the ad account and this static looked really nice. So now you just get an email saying, hey, Lou, here's your brief for the creative strategy meeting this week. Here's what I think we should do.
Yeah.
And then you go and you complete. So this is where we need a human intervention step, right?
Yeah.
Because we're like, we can't just let it make all the decisions. And you're like, oh, that's a bad idea. That's a shit idea. That's a bad idea. That's a shit idea.
Yeah.
And so for you as a solo founder, what we would get you to do is to take that brief and just chat to your favorite GPT model about it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
yeah.
Oh, hey, this angle, and we could do it this way, and I don't really like that. And then what you're going to end up with is a transcript of all of this juicy information that's the result of internal and external research and some recommendations from a strategist. if you've got a team, you would use the strategy meeting brief and you just have a chat about it.
Yeah.
You know? So, and you do that on Fathom, you get a transcript. Now, that was a big yarn, sorry, but, and this is the simple one, that transcript or that ChatGPT thread, plug that into a spreadsheet, press go, and it will take that transcript, send it to 15 specialized GPT models that write all the different types of copy you could need. Short form copy, long form copy, 3 reasons why, founder's ad, podcast script.
Okay.
And then that turns up in your inbox, and then you're responsible for the edits.
Yeah.
And so that's an example of how internal research agent, external research agent, strategist to pull that together to give you a brief. You do a meeting, enrich all of that and come up with what you want, throw it in to one model, boof, all your copy, you do your edits, push it out to the next stage.
Okay.
The next couple of stages is that copy comes to you, you review it, approve it, goes to 11 labs automatically, get your voiceover.
Yeah. Okay.
Goes to image generator, get your raw images, get your raw video. And then all you have to do is put it together in a Canva or a CapCut. And then and then eventually, right?
Ultimately, the BIO that does it.
That'll do that too.
Yeah.
And then it'll put them, and then it'll upload the ads, and then it'll scale the spend. And then what you'll probably have is an AI agent looking at all of those, going, that was good, that was bad, and optimizing them. And then we're all out of a job.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But that's kind of how we're thinking about it right now, is like, what's the simplest MVP we can build that we can get up rapidly that is a component of an overall larger system?
Yeah.
And so we should be rolling that out into the accelerator in a couple of weeks, is that copy agent.
Wow. Okay.
You know, what does that say? 4 hours a week.
Yeah.
My problem is, you know, like 2 weeks might not be fast enough because some 19-year-old kid in Miami will have built some app for $4 a month that does it 10 times better. You know, like,
I know. Yeah. That's what's scary.
That's what's scary.
Yeah.
But like, I guess that would be to that point of like your dream state. Like, I just want I just want help with my creative. So basically trying to pull you out of that one-on-one interaction constantly with the ChatGPT model, so that you're just doing higher order steps.
Yeah.
You just do a creative strategy meeting based on a brief.
Yeah.
You just review the copy outputs.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, that's 1.5 hours, solid hours each. And there's been maybe 10 hours of workflow in behind that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Scary though, eh?
Yeah, it is scary.
Yeah.
But it's next level. Amazing.
Can I ask you one more philosophical question just to finish off, and then we'll probably have to buy some more podcast time. What are you thinking and feeling about AI technology, its impact on society, its impact on your kids? Like, how are you thinking and feeling about it? Because it's kind of scary, and what I'm seeing is some people are going, it's scary, it's maybe bad, so I just don't want to look at it.
So I don't worry about it for me, but I worry about it for my kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what does that look like?
I mean, we just don't know where it's going. And, you know, we've all seen these doomsday stories about robots taking over the world, and, you know, there'll be some amazing things for it. You know, medical things, AI will be amazing, but I guess it's just scary. We just don't know where it's going, and I think it's going to take so many jobs from people. And I mean, all the, a whole lot of sort of commentators say, well, it's just going to make us more productive in society, but I don't know how productive you can be. I mean, it's a certain amount of jobs that are just going to go, and I guess the world will just change. I mean, when the internet came out, it probably took a whole lot of people's jobs, but you just can't quite see where it's going. So I don't worry for me. I worry for my kids and my kids' kids.
And so, what do they do? What do we do? What do parents of kids do? What do we?
Well, as you and I discussed, encourage them to be AI natives.
Yeah.
God knows what they'll be encouraging their children to be.
Yeah. Cyborg
Not
native
robots. Yeah.
Robots? Like, are they going to be cyborgs? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's the advice.
Yeah.
If you've got kids, if you and your kids, be AI native.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't be. You can be scared of it, but you know your enemy.
Know your enemy.
Yeah.
And maybe it's an ally.
Yeah.
So know your ally.
Yeah.
Keep your friends close.
Yep.
And keep your enemies closer.
Yep. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Anything you want to finish on? Where can people find the product?
Your product?
Your product.
Agelessyou.co.nz.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you're 40 plus, go for it.
Go for it. Thanks, boss.